Good morning, everybody. So now we are on our mat again. This morning I'm going to be teaching around a class that Abhijata Iyengar gave recently for specifically these times. And I would like to just read a little of what she has written regarding the now of our practice and this particular class that we're going to be doing. We are not here just to do more and more asana. We want to improve our perception, our sensations within the asana. Props help us to become more sensitive, and the emotional center is in the chest. We're going to be doing back bends, and as she said, once you go into back bends, you go into that vastness of the emotional center. And once you go into that vastness, you can withstand any pressure and strain. Emotional strength comes with a practice of back bending, and you can meet any kind of calamity with a calm mind. That is the beauty of back bends. And she said, because these are supported practice poses in this practice today, it allows the build-up of the stamina within the staying of this practice. So it's going to be about wanting, you're going to set yourself up in the pose so that you're going to be wanting to be in the pose and wanting to be able to hold and stay. So please do take supports, additional props that you might need. We're definitely going to be using the chair and your many other props this morning. So bring yourself to sitting in the center. Be sitting on the center of your buttock bones, aligning the center of your spine, bringing yourself to the center of your being, your heart center. Bring your palms in front of that heart center, resting the palms one into the other. Centering the ribs, the hips, and allowing the spine to ease upwards into lightness and length. Centering the eyes into their sockets, allow the eyelids to softly melt over the eyeballs. And come and rest the eyes deep into the sockets. Softening the eyes, softening the tongue, softening and opening the inner walls of the throat. And softening and allowing the gaze of the eyes to melt down into the heart center. Softening your lips as they gently touch one to the other. And a soft smile created at the corners of your lips. Softly melting down into that heart center. Allowing with the breath a sense of inner vastness to start opening outwards, upwards, in every direction. As if the breath emanates from that inner vastness, spreading, opening, as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, allowing the breath to soften into that vast inner center of your being. Allowing the breath to be as free and full as it is right now. No need to moderate or change the breath in any way. When you've completed your next exhalation, bow your head to your heart, making your own inner acknowledgements. Place the back of the hands onto the inner knees. Raise your head. Open your eyes. We're going to begin practice this morning in Supta Tadasana. So coming to lie on your back so that the legs are bent, and ultimately when you straighten your legs, you'll be able to push into and away from the wall. But come and start with the legs bent. Grip the edge of your sticky mat so that you can pull the sticky mat away from you. And as you pull the sticky mat away from you, lengthen the upper buttocks. Those parallel lines are so often referred to, those railway tracks. Pull them towards the wall as you ease your lower back ribs towards your shoulder blades. And then turn the palms up. And from there, get a sense of a broad lift from the pubic plate through the navel as you tug the mat away from you. It's like the whole of your thoracic diaphragm eases upwards through the broadness of your sternum bone, allowing the collarbones to roll down to the floor, the shoulders to draw down towards the upper buttocks. So there's this circular flow of energy up the front body, down the back body. Feel how the upper buttocks lengthens, how this tremendous space between the abdominal cavity and the thoracic cavity is created in this opening, this softening of this division of this large muscle of the thoracic diaphragm. So we're creating space for this big muscle to breathe, creating a vastness within for this to be able to spread. And then extend your legs away from you, push your feet into the wall and reaffirm what you've just set up with the legs bent. So lengthening abdomen towards the diaphragm spreading, collarbones rolling down, have the feet slightly apart, and then shoulders, upper buttocks, drawing towards the wall. Supta Tadasana. Spreading your collarbones, press the shoulder heads down, press the outer shoulder blades down, and feel a lightness of the spine. The spine comes into the back body. There's no connection of the spine to the floor. The tailbone may be touching, but the base of the skull is touching, the back of the head touching, but the rest of the spine deep into the body. So already like you're doing a back bend whilst you're lying down. Be aware of this spread, this lift of the front body from the pubis broadly over the collarbones, so that there's no restriction in the thoracic diaphragm. And lying here, breathe. Just bring your awareness to this area in the lower ribs and breathe into that space. Aware of the sensations, the feelings there. Can you soften? Can you let go any tendency to grip? The ribs spread sideways, let the diaphragm horizontally open. Let it flow into the abdominal cavity as you breathe in and release back into its natural dome shape as you breathe out. Spacious vastness around that space of the thoracic diaphragm. And then from there, bend your legs, roll over to the side to come up And we're going to start off with some standing poses. So please take your chair. If it's a dining chair, that's also fine. And we're going to start in Utthita Trikonasana. I have the chair in front of me. And you want to bring the chair close in. So spreading the feet wide, bring the chair up close. Turning your left toes in, turning your right leg out. And from there, already using the support of the chair, you want to bring yourself into that back plane of the body. So already, it's like you pressing your shoulders back as you spread your collarbones, and you're bringing the spinal column into the back to fold down into Utthita Trikonasana. You've got the chair as support. And then from there, rolling, especially this left shoulder back, release the back of the head and look towards that opposite wall. Come up. I'm going to demonstrate briefly to the side so that you can see what takes place in this Utthita Trikonasana with the spine. So bringing the chair close in, from there, rooting down through those 4 points of the soles of the feet. Bring the chair with you if you need to, but hold onto the chair so that you can take yourself back, scooping this right buttocks in, bringing this right buttocks into the body so that the groin area can soften and spread and open. Remember the last class you did. So we've opened these groins, we've softened these groins to be able from there to arch back and then turn the head, so that even the head and the neck doing a back bend. But remember to come into a place of wanting to stay in the pose. So making that sense of ease. We're going to go back to the first side now that I've demonstrated. Step your feet wide, bring the chair in, left toes in, right leg out. And firming up the legs, compact the hips, and from there, bring the chair with you if you need to take it further. Holding the chair, arch into the back body, roll especially that left shoulder back. Bring your right side ribs forward and then look above you. Like even the back of the neck is doing a back bend. Bring that left, right buttocks deep into the body and open this right groin area. Breathe. And from that inhale, come up. Feet to face forwards, adjust your chair. Turn your right toes in, left leg out. Utthita Trikonasana. Firming up the legs as you root those 4 points of the feet into the floor. Ease those left side ribs forward as you roll that right shoulder back. And then look towards the wall. Concave the whole of the spine, like you're bringing that spinal column deep into the body. So here, the whole of this thoracic diaphragm has space to open, soften, and breathe through that area. Side ribs, whole of the heart center. And come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Keep your feet apart for Utthita Konasana. So turn your left toes in, turn your right leg out, bring the chair with you as you come into your right angle, holding the chair. Bring your right hand inside your right leg. And now once more, firming up that left leg, front thigh to back thigh. Soften this right inner groin so that the knee rolls from the inside out. Scoop that right buttocks in, and from there, look over. Roll that left shoulder back and down. So it's like already you're doing a back bend in Utthita Konasana. Breathe get that length from the pubis through the thoracic diaphragm broadly over the collarbones. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn your feet to face forwards. Take your chair with you. Turn your right toes in, left leg out. Firming up this back leg so you can mobilize the front leg. Bring your left hand inside the knee for today so that you can comb that inner thigh away. Scoop the left buttocks in. Roll your right shoulder back. And now look up and over your head. So the whole of the front body extends from the pubis through the navel, lower chest to upper chest, spine into the back. Find a place that the breath can flow freely. Staying in the pose builds up stamina for the emotional center. Inhale, come up, and on the exhalation, turn your feet to face forwards. Just for a moment, step your feet together and just be in Tadasana. Ardha Chandrasana. So observe just for a moment. We're going to keep the chair close in. Turn your right leg out. From there, coming into Trikonasana, Uttita Konasana. Here's your chair to support you. And then from there, stepping forwards, hold the chair. And from there, come into balance. So let's repeat. Have the chair alongside you. Inhale, and on the exhalation, come into Uttita Trikonasana. Have your left hand onto the backrest of the chair. Bend your right knee. Have your right hand outside your foot now. And then from there, shift the chair if needs be, stepping forwards, right hand to the floor. So your left hand helps you to balance. Roll that left shoulder back. Ease your right side ribs forward and now look up and away. So you're doing a back bend in Ardha Chandrasana. For today, dare to hit that left heel a little further back. Whole of the spine deep into the body. Bend your right knee. Come back. Uttita Trikonasana. Coming up. Turn your feet to face forward. Set up your chair. Turn your right toes in. Left leg out. From there, inhale, and on the exhalation, right hand to the backrest of the chair, left hand comes to the floor, Uttita Konasana. Already roll that right shoulder back. Take your chair with you as you shift into the pose. So the balance is not too much of an issue. You've got this chair to support you. But now, looking up and over your head, lengthen from the pubis through the navel, broadly easing the thoracic diaphragm up to the collarbones. Space to breathe in that vastness. And then bend your knee. From there, inhale, step back, Uttita Trikonasana, to come up. Turn your feet to face forwards, step your feet together, shift your chair away for a moment, and once more, come lying down like you were doing right at the beginning of the class. Legs are bent, grip the edge of your sticky mat, pull the lumbar spine, the upper buttocks away, and then press your legs into, your feet into the wall. And once more, in this Supta Tadasana, re-establish the length from the pubis to the thoracic diaphragm, broadly over the sternum, collarbones rolling down, and the back body. Press the outer shoulders, outer shoulder blades down, spine into the back. Feel, is there any change in the breathing after your standing poses? Is there a bit more softness in this thoracic diaphragm? More space interiorly? Let the breath flow with a sense of ease. And then bending up your legs, roll over to the side and come up. We're going to do a variation of Setu Bandha Savangasana today. Often in our regular classes, the bolster can be quite big. So what I quite often tell people is if the spine is a little bit shorter, take your foams and then take a blanket and fold your blanket up and over the foam. So you make a slightly narrower, lower bolster. Set that up. If you don't have foams, fold your blankets, so zigzag, so that you get a setup more or less like that. From there, you're going to come and sit in front, cross the legs, Svastikasana, and from there come and lie over this bolster with your lower back ribs connecting that, so that the apex of this pose is that thoracic diaphragm. Allow your shoulders, your collarbones to melt down to the floor. So the shoulders lightly touching the floor and the arms wide to the side. Soften the inner groins. If the knees are up here, just for today, bear with that and allow the knees to stretch away and down. So you're getting this length for the upper buttocks, extension through these inner thighs. Let the groins open, give them time. Don't support here. Let this extend and go away. Keep easing. Remember that holding builds up the emotional stamina, mental stamina, and allow the knees to gradually settle. Back of the neck long and soft. So once more, this whole opening upwards towards the collarbones, melting down into the floor. And breathe. Have a sense that the side ribs can expand across this bolster as the lower front ribs can ease with the side ribs. Slow, soft inhalation. Slow, soft exhalation to your capacity. So you might have a few rounds of normal breathing. And then it's almost as if intuitively you breathe out and the body wants to have that deeper, fuller, longer inhalation. There's a momentary pause before you have an equally long, slow, smooth exhalation. And that might only come every third, fifth breath, it doesn't matter. It's all good. But every now and then, have one of those deeper, fuller, ujjayi, inhale, exhale. And then draw your legs up, keeping the chest as it is, just quietly cross your legs the other way. For those of you that the groins are tight, just gradually ease the inner knees away, allowing the legs to come and settle. Let go the inner groins, soften the groins. Come back to the breath. Complete the breath you're on and have one more of those deeper ujjayi. Inhale, pause, exhale. And then draw up your legs. Extend your arm over your head, roll over to the side, come sitting up. We're now going to go into a variation of Supta Virasana, but more like a Paryankasana. So, either 3 foams. If you don't have foams and you have your bricks, the bricks are a little more harsh because you want the bricks at the vertical, like that. But preferably, if you have foams, something firm, that you can have 3 of them, so that you're going to lie back and over that support into Supta Virasana. So first prize is knees together and the feet apart to comb the calves back, and then you're going to bring that support in the back ribs, taking the head up and over. So once more, we're intensifying the stretch of the front body. Support your head. So just like your standing poses, you want the throat to open upwards without pumping the throat. So a sense of quiet if you need to go higher. And take your arms up and over your head, folding your elbows. Supta Virasana. If Virasana legs are not possible, please do Swastikasana just like you did earlier on. So crossing your legs and folding up and over. This support begins at the lower back ribs in the thoracic diaphragm, going up and over. So Swastikasana is what's possible. Do Swastikasana. Otherwise, be in Supta Virasana. So it's a combination of Paryankasana and Supta Virasana. But as I quoting Abhijata from earlier on, set up your support for today that you want to be staying in the pose. It's not that you're struggling. In fact, at one stage in the class, she says, when you're in the depths of any of these poses, talk softly to yourself so that there's no strain in the voice. Then you know that there's ease of breathing as well. For those of you that want to go a little deeper, you can throw the head completely back. But don't pump up the throat. You can hear the voice remains the same. Fold your arms the other way. For those of you that are in Supta Swastikasana, cross your legs as well, the other way. Breathe into that spreading, that opening of the thoracic diaphragm, the sense of energy flowing from the pubis, allowing that thoracic, the lower front ribs to feel as if they're cascading down into the collarbones, melting down. Come back to breath awareness, that the breath can be smooth, regular, no strain in this emotional center, therefore no strain in the breath. So the holding of these poses is integral to the practice to get the benefits of opening, softening into that vastness of the inner space. And then release your arms, stretching your arms away, bring them up and over. In whatever way works for you, press down with your hands, your elbows. I'm sitting up. Undo the swastikasana, undo the virasana, and come onto all fours for a moment, everyone. And just extend your left leg away from you. Getting the back of the knee open. Release your left leg and extend your right leg. Back of the knee open. And from there, just briefly around your support, come up into a wide Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift your head and look forward. Do that same arch of broadly rolling the collarbones, the shoulders back. Bring the spine deep into the back. Now pump open your armpits and then drop your head. So once more, even in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, it's like you're doing a subtle back bend. From there, come down. Coming up, move your props and get your chair again. Some of you I know might have a dining chair as against our wonderful Iyengar Yoga chairs. Take your sticky mat, fold it in four and put it over your chair. I'm going to demonstrate both ways because if, for example, you have a dining chair, you're not going to have these bars here. It's going to be straight. So you can take yourself horizontally across the chair to be like that. I'm a little off this chair because of the bar. But you want to lengthen these upper buttock lines as you ease those lower back ribs away, making space in the lumbar spine for the abdomen to settle back. So this might be your position in your dining chair. I'm going to go in the classic way because I can. So you're going to step into your chair, be fairly close to the wall, and we're going to start off in the first stage of Viparita Dandasana on the chair. So long upper buttocks, ease the back ribs away, and come and put just the lower part of the shoulder blades onto the back. Release your head. Collarbones broadly rolling down. Shoulders releasing towards the shoulder blades. Hold the backrest of the chair and your elbows slightly lower than the seat. And just be here. If possible, let the head hang. So the back of the neck is long, the front of the neck is long, and hopefully to release a lot of tension in the shoulders and the neck. Please, for those of you that do have neck issues, you know how you need to support your head. So let the head be supported with your foams, blankets, bricks, whatever. Keeping the legs bent. Let that energy flow from the pubis broadly through the thoracic diaphragm over to the collarbones, releasing, melting down. Breathe into the thoracic diaphragm area, spreading it, opening it, making this inner emotional center, heart center, vastly internally spacious. So when you re-practice this and you have more time, stay. Want to stay in this particular place. From there, press the feet into the wall. If you can, put your feet on the floor for today. Allow the shoulder blades to come a little further. Either keep holding the backrest of the chair or now thread your arms through and hold the back legs of the chair. For those of you in the dining chair, just keep holding onto the backrest. Your other hand might be onto the seat. Stay in that first position, but you can straighten your legs. Firm up the legs. Those inner groins back, the front thighs back, so that the pubis can extend through to the collarbones, front body lengthening. It's like you creating more space, softening the thoracic diaphragm, so that the dividing line, the thoracic diaphragm between the abdomen and the thoracic chest area becomes softer, thus allowing more space in those two cavities to breathe. So this is stage 2. For those of you that want to and have the capacity, bend your legs and slide yourself further down. Can you almost bring your head to the floor? If needs be, if the back is a bit of a problem, you can shift yourself closer to put your feet to the wall. But for today, keep holding either the arms or the back legs of the chair. For those of you that can manage, you can bring your feet back to the floor. But allow for a sense of opening into the pose. No need to push yourself to go further. You have 4 stages, 4 variations in this pose. Choose one where you can stay, where the lower back doesn't become an issue. To breathe. Two more deep, full inhalations, exhalations. Abdomen broadly, softly resting back. And then bring your arms through. Bend up your legs. Keep your head heavy. Use your hands, your elbows, whatever you need to bring yourself up. Passive head, last. Slide into your chair or along your chair so that the thighs are supported, you using the chair as a support. Those of you that might be sitting sideways on the dining chair, that's perfectly fine. And then from there, turning to the right, lengthen both sides of the trunk, easing upwards. So these side ribs, thoracic diaphragm, soft, spacious, lifting up. Relax your right shoulder. Turn your head, look over your right shoulder. Breathe, inhaling up, exhaling, softening the abdomen to turn. Come back to center, and on the exhalation, turn to the left. Side ribs easing up to the armpits. Left and right side equally long. Turn your head, look over your left shoulders. You tuck that left shoulder blade into the back. Once more, when that left shoulder blade comes into the back, you give space for the sternum to lift, the collarbones to split. Come back to center once more, to the right. Come back to center once more, to the left. And then from there, just come sitting centered. Abdomen broadly back. Feel the spread, the length down, and the lift up of the lumbar spine. So it's like the navel rests back into that spacious lumbar spine, giving the back body a bit of ease and rest. And from there, tip your chair over if you were in it, or come up from your chair. Open your sticky mat once more. You're going to be using your chair still. So bring your chair. Have your feet more than your foot's distance away from the wall. Turn your heels out and your toes in. So take your heels at least as wide as the sticky mat and turn your toes comfortably in. And from there, folding forwards, pull your buttock flesh up the wall. And first stage, take your hands onto the backrest of the chair. So you're doing Ardha Uttanasana. Broadly rest the abdomen back, just like you were doing when you were sitting in the chair. So the upper buttocks goes to the wall, the back ribs ease forward, and the lumbar spine spreads, opens as the navel band rests back. If this feels fine and the dorsal comes quietly into the back, you can maybe take the chair a little lower, but no lower than this. Release the back of the neck. Think now just of the exhalation, and as you breathe out, broadly spread your navel back, like you're doing the opposite to gravity. As you breathe out, it's like this abdomen rests to the back body, like water would rest into a pool. Inhale just is, because it's part of the breathing cycle. Let the exhale be longer, smoother, more focused. As you spread the navel back, allowing the lumbar to release in every direction. Releasing any aches, tension that might have happened in the back bend. Then, without too much shifting, take your chair slightly to the right, press your left buttock bone into the wall and come into Pajva Uttanasana. So press your left buttocks into the wall and spread your lower back. Come back to center. Take your chair slightly to the left. Don't go too far. Don't push it. Right buttock bone deep into the wall to turn the whole of the trunk from that departure point. And then come back to center. And now, if it's possible, just rest your forehead. If this is too low, all you do is you turn the chair around and you rest your forehead. Put your hands onto the seat of the chair or the backrest of the chair, push up. Come up and just be in Tadasana for a moment. I'm going to face towards you, feet apart. Root down through the 4 points of the soles of the feet. Draw the knees, the thighs up. Lift the front of the spine. Lift broadly from the pubis through the thoracic diaphragm, broadly over the sternum, the collarbones. As you release the shoulders, the upper buttocks down. Close your eyes for a moment and just center yourself. Checking in, left, right, lower, upper pose, front, back of the pose. Let the breath just breathe. Open your eyes. Take your chair and lie down for Shavasana, putting the calves onto the seat of the chair. Lengthen the upper buttocks. Pull the sticky mat away from you once more to get that sense of spreading, lifting the thoracic diaphragm. And then close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Bring your breath to your shoulders, these outer shoulder heads. And as you breathe out, feel as if those solid shoulders, like ice, melt, become liquid, melting into the earth, soften, letting go. As you breathe out from solid to liquid to vapor. Let go completely. Keeping your eyes closed, allow the inhalation to become fuller, more pronounced, foremost. Filling the whole of this vast inner space with your inhalation. And just sigh the exhalation out of the body. The deep inhalation, draw your legs up. Soft exhale. Deep inhalation, take your right arm over your head. Keeping the legs tucked up, exhale, melt to the right. Keeping the head passive, press down with your left hand and pull your spine to come sitting in Sukhasana. Crossing the legs in whatever way is comfortable for you. Bring your palms into Atma Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart, acknowledging the Creator within. Press the back of your hands onto your inner knees, raise your head, open your eyes. And just briefly, before we close for our practice today, another thing that Abhi mentioned in this practice was during these times, referring specifically to now, she was saying that we should not be doing strong, unsupported backbends, like many Urdhva Dhanurasanas or Viparita Dandasanas off the floor or dropping back. She said we need to be nurturing. It's a time for a lot of people of great trauma, and we need to be treating ourselves kindly. So do remember that. Namaste.